It's a big question. How significant are these charges against the two former aides to President Donald Trump? I want to get into that further with Andrew Boutros. He's a former federal prosecutor, and we have located him in Chicago. Welcome to the program, Mr. Boutros. How are you?
Hi, good morning, Suhanna. How are you?
I'm fine. But you predicted this on the weekend. Maybe you have some clairvoyance. I don't know. But how significant do you think these charges are?
The charges are certainly significant, and I did predict that Mr. Manafort would be indicted. I predicted that it would be on charges relating to being an unregistered foreign agent, which in fact is the case, and I predicted that it would be related to activities in the Ukraine. And so those predictions, I think, have all come to fruition, and there were certainly a lot of telltale signs to suggest that. This is significant, no question about it. But while being significant, it also is a relief in certain ways, because when you really go and study the indictment alleges a conspiracy that ended in 2015. And so the conspiracy ends quite early. And Mr. Trump, for example, President Trump did not announce his intentions to run for president of the United States until June of 2015. And there have been no allegations whatsoever relating to Russia, relating to the White House, relating to the campaign itself. So this is really almost a standalone indictment, and it is something that is, as best as I can tell from having studied it, completely unrelated to Russia.
But wait a second. Sometimes optics, as you know, in politics is really what counts. The optics are bad. You gotta agree with that.
And you just took the words out of my mouth, Suhanna, because what is significant as well is the person. This is a person who, at one point, was working as the chairman of the campaign for President Trump, and the fact that someone who was affiliated with the Trump campaign and certainly had a high-level position being indicted, that itself is certainly very bad. And as you say, the optics of that are certainly very bad. All I was speaking to, Suhanna, is the law or the legal aspect of it. This is a separate standalone indictment that is unrelated to Russia from a legal perspective.
Okay, we watched at the FBI offices, Manafort walking in, reporters, of course, all asking their questions. Everybody wants to know, what's your reaction to this? What are you watching for in how Manafort and Gates, what they do next?
Sure. So they have now been processed. So they are now in the system as arrested individuals. They will forever have to check the box, yes, to the question, have you ever been arrested of a crime? So they have now been processed through the FBI, and the next step will be their arraignment. That arraignment will occur in federal court in D.C. And in many ways, and this is something that I said over the weekend, who the judge is going to be, the judge who has been assigned to this case, which is supposed to be a random assignment, is going to be incredibly significant, because the federal judge, of course, serves as a gatekeeper and serves a gatekeeping function in a criminal trial, both to ensure fairness to the defendant as well as to the government. And so the judge will have incredible power and discretion over the process, the rules of evidence, whether or not this is a quick trial under the Speedy Trial Act in 90 days, or whether this is something that drags on. The judge will be absolutely instrumental in that process. And the judge may or may not be the same judge that ends up presiding over all of these cases if additional cases are superseded, if superseding charges are brought, adding new individuals in the future. So this is who I'm looking for, or what I'm looking for is the name of the judge who's assigned the case.
All right, and we'll talk again when that name is released, and we'll see just how critical it will be. I want to thank you for your time, Andrew.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Former federal prosecutor Andrew Boutros, he is in Chicago.